What's up, everybody? Crazy Mike 1706 review of the Ted Petty Invitational 2007 Night 1. The opening ceremony was just like the opening ceremony from the Super J Cup, and I kind of noticed that during the ceremony and during the picture taking, a lot of the wrestlers were out of character. Out of nowhere, while the wrestlers are trying to make their way back to the back, BJ Whitmer attacks Jimmy Jacobs out of nowhere, and then Chucky T comes in for the save, but then him and Jimmy Jacobs start fighting, and he hits Jimmy Jacobs with a brutal move. Once Jimmy Jacobs is able to come back from that brutal move, he cuts a promo. I felt that they kind of fucked up a formula, a good format for the first match. I mean, can you imagine as the wrestlers are making their way back to the back, and you know they're out of character and then out of nowhere the first round match starts? That could have been a lot better, and I felt they blew it. But in any event, let's start with the first match. Josh Abercrombie versus Ricochet. There was a nice dive from Ricochet. A fan had this huge mustache on. I wonder how long it took him to make it. Abercrombie looked impressive in this match. He's a very creative wrestler. He also hit the Thomaselli driver. If you guys can look it up, please do so. That's a cool move, and it was a markout spot in this match. The Super Taliban backbreaker. That is a backstabber from the top rope. That was fucking wicked. The Joker versus CJ Otis with Chris Hero at guest commentary. This match was okay. There was a couple of good, nice, strong style exchanges, but all in all, it was just an okay match. A little bit of trivia here. Joker is in the military. Eddie Kingston versus Humor Tornado, once again with Chris Hero on commentary. This was an entertaining wrestling match because Humor Tornado is more of an entertainer, but he is also a good wrestler. There was a leapfrog double stomp to the back of Eddie Kingston's head while he was between the ropes. That was pretty wicked. And after the match, Chris Hero left the commentary table and he cut a promo on Eddie Kingston, and then Eddie Kingston gets all pissed off, and then he cuts a promo on Chris Hero, and basically what they were trying to do is setting up their match for the next night. The thing is this: if Chris Hero cannot get past Scorpio, then he would have to face Eddie Kingston the next night. Next match is Davey versus BJ Whitmer. This match went from okay to good to very good. The crowd was really into it. Every move had nice build-up, especially a pretty dive from Davey Richards. Great chemistry between the two. This was a very good roller coaster ride, and this is probably my favorite BJ Whitmer match because I'm not really a big fan of his. Devon versus Dysfunction. Special guest commentator Drake Younger. Devon Moore looks a lot like Nate Diaz. Let me just start off by saying that. And the commentators, they did a good job of trying to put over the high-flying Devon Moore. But I just felt that this match just went from move to move. It really didn't have no flow, and they subconsciously spoiled the match. You will see what I mean when you guys get the DVD. Mike Quackenbush versus Billy Rock with special guest commentators Josh Abercrombie and Eddie Kingston. This match was for the light heavyweight championship. What more can I say? This was a Mike Quackenbush match. I mean, good ring psychology, good counters, good escapes, good submissions. Mike Quackenbush is one of the best technical wrestlers ever. He's probably one of the greatest technical wrestlers ever. I mean, God, he is just so creative in that ring. The ring psychology was basically Quackenbush working over Billy Rock's lower back and his legs. Brent Albright versus Tank. This was a slow match, a very quick match. That's because Tank is a very huge man and he is a deathmatch wrestler. Brandon Thomaselli versus Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan is one half of the NWA Tag Team Champions. This was a dull match. It didn't really get my attention. I didn't really give two shits about it. The only thing that caught my attention was a spear from the inside the ring to the apron and to the outside. Edge does that move a lot better, but then again, Edge is God. Drake Younger versus Spyder Nate Webb. Let me just start off by saying that at a Jersey All Pro Wrestling show, there was this crazy fan. He was screaming out loud and hitting himself in the head and all this stuff, and I recognized this fan at this show. Nate Webb's entrance is almost as long as the entire Teenage Dirtbag song. I mean, you really gotta love a song a bit too much to have the entire song as your entrance, but the fans, they didn't really care. They actually liked it. This match was average. However, there was a half Nelson suplex from the top rope, and basically the opponent twisted his opponent, and his opponent landed face first into the mat. Oh man, that was a brutal spot. Claudio Castagnoli versus Nigel McGuiness. Special guest commentator Mike Quackenbush. Nice British wrestling in this match. It was hard hitting, good chemistry, multiple European uppercut exchanges. The finish was timed perfectly. You know, what more can I say? Of course this match is going to be good. It's impossible for it not to be good. So there's really nothing more I can say. Chris Hero versus Scorpio. Scorpio showed very good athleticism in this match. Hero wrestled his typical Hero style. Some parts of this match didn't really catch my attention. Other parts were good. So you know, we could just leave it at that. I'm going to have to spoil this one. Tuco Scorpio went over Chris Hero, and they're gonna do Chris Hero versus Eddie Kingston in night 2. Why? I mean, we've seen them go at it so many times. Chuck Taylor versus Jimmy Jacobs for the IWA World Heavyweight Championship. Jimmy Jacobs came out with his Age of the Fall look with his Bloody the Tower and all that stuff. There was a nice top rope conhelio from Chucky T, and there was also one part in the match when Jimmy Jacobs went for a dive and he smashed his chest into the guardrail, but he used that so he can do a blade job. For the most part, I didn't see the reason for Jimmy Jacobs blading other than the fact that he's weakening from the loss of blood, but still, it wasn't really necessary. This match went kind of long. I didn't like it whatsoever. The fans didn't have a problem with it, but again, me, I just didn't like it. And you know, that's it for night 1. I am thinking about watching and reviewing night. Well, I am gonna watch night 2. If you guys want me to review night 2, just leave a comment down there. You know, just with some quick notes, Samoa Joe, Alex Shelley, Low Key, Matt Sydal, El Generico, and B-Boy were scheduled to appear at this tournament, but each of them had certain reasons why they couldn't go there. And I must also mention that IWA had vacation packages, so guys can attend the show and book a hotel. So if you guys are thinking about going to the 2008 one, you know, I suggest that at the upcoming weeks you check to see if they're offering the vacation packages. And before I leave, if you guys have any IWA reviews or any video reviews, or if you guys got any show recommendations, you know, just make it a video response, make it a comment, you know, so more people can know about the promotions and know which products or DVDs to get. Take it easy, guys.